The dawn broke over the Maasai plains, painting the sky with streaks of orange and gold. Toba stood at the edge of the village, the cool breeze brushing against his face as he watched his son Django spar with the other boys. Even at 6 years old, Django exhibited an unmatched precision with the wooden spear, his movements fluid and deliberate. The boy's focus and determination reminded Toba of his younger self. Standing beside him, the princess, his wife, cradled their youngest daughter Zuri, her serene presence grounding him. Their family had become his anchor, a source of strength that carried him through the challenges they faced. Life for Toba and the princess had not been without its struggles. Their union, though blessed by the king, had been met with resistance from the council. Chief Kiro, one of the most influential leaders, had been the most vocal opponent. His objections were not only rooted in tradition, but also in jealousy. Kiro had long desired the princess for his own son, and Toba's victory in winning her hand was a wound he refused to let heal. Despite Kiro's machinations, Toba and the princess had built a life filled with love and purpose. Together they raised 4 children, Django the eldest and a budding warrior, Amara, a precocious 4-year-old with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, Nia, the spirited 3-year-old who was as bold as she was adventurous, and Zuri, the 1-year-old whose quiet wisdom was evident even in her infancy. Each child brought a unique dynamic to the family, and together they embodied the future of the Maasai. As the years passed, Toba dedicated himself to training Django. The boy's growth was remarkable, his skills surpassing even the older children in the village. By the time he was 10, Django was accompanying Toba on hunts, learning not just the art of tracking and combat, but also the values of respect, humility, and responsibility. Toba often reminded him that being a warrior was not just about strength, but about protecting and serving the people. One fateful night, as the village gathered around the central fire, the elders called upon Toba to share his wisdom. He spoke of unity, of the strength that came from standing together despite differences. His words resonated deeply, especially with the younger warriors, who looked to him as a role model. Django, seated among them, watched his father with awe, vowing silently to one day carry the same mantle of respect and honor. The peace of the village was shattered one afternoon when a rival tribe launched a surprise raid. Toba and the warriors rushed to defend their people, leaving the children and elders in the care of the women. However, a group of attackers managed to infiltrate the village, targeting the vulnerable. Django, only 12 at the time, took charge, rallying the other boys and forming a line of defense. Armed with nothing but spears and their resolve, they held off the attackers long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Django's bravery that day earned him widespread recognition, and even the elders began to see him as a leader in the making. The aftermath of the raid brought the family closer. Toba took Django aside, acknowledging his courage but also reminding him of the responsibility that came with such actions. The boy listened intently, his respect for his father deepening. Amara too found her role during the crisis, comforting the injured and offering guidance to the frightened. Nia's sharp eyes had spotted the attackers before they reached the village, her vigilance proving invaluable. Even little Zuri seemed to sense the tension, offering a calming presence that soothed the nerves of those around her. However, Kiro's efforts to undermine him did not wane. He began to plot more openly, gathering a faction of chiefs who shared his views. They held secret meetings, strategizing ways to discredit Toba and ensure he would never ascend to power. The turning point came when the king's health began to decline. The once vigorous leader was now bedridden, his voice weak but his mind sharp. He summoned Toba and the princess, entrusting them with his wishes for the tribe's future. The council, however, was divided. By tradition, the throne should pass to the king's closest male relative, but with no sons, the decision was fraught with complexity. Toba's marriage to the princess made him a strong candidate, but Kiro and his supporters argued fiercely against it. The village became a battleground of ideologies. While many rallied behind Toba, recognizing his contributions and the strength of his lineage through Django, others clung to tradition. The princess, ever steadfast, stood by her husband, addressing the council with a grace and conviction that silenced even the harshest critics. On the king's final day, he called for a gathering of the entire village. With his voice barely audible, he declared Toba as his chosen successor, citing not just his marriage to the princess, but his unwavering dedication to the Maasai. The announcement was met with a mix of cheers and murmurs, but the king's authority was unquestionable. Cairo's protests fell on deaf ears, his influence waning in the face of the people's support for Toba. The coronation ceremony was a blend of mourning and celebration. Toba stood before his people, the weight of his new role heavy on his shoulders, but his resolve unshaken. Beside him were his children, each a symbol of the tribe's future. Django, a warrior in his own right, Amara, a beacon of wisdom, Nia, a testament to courage, and Zuri, the quiet heart of their family. Together they represented the hope of a united Maasai. As the first rays of sunlight broke through the clouds, Toba raised his spear, a gesture of both gratitude and determination. The people erupted in cheers, their voices carrying across the plains. The story of Toba, the warrior who rose from humble beginnings to lead a tribe, would be told for generations, a testament to the power of love, resilience, and unity.